Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. In a few moments, I'll be sharing my thoughts and feelings on episode 7 of season 15's Naked and Afraid. And over the course of this video, I plan to share my thoughts on the survivalists for the challenge, the location, and how the survivalists did as a team. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. This Naked and Afraid challenge was very unique, because the two survivalists served as set medics for past seasons of Naked and Afraid. Janice is the first set medic who comes to the challenge having experience in competing in long distance races, and she's been an EMT for 15 years. Let me reiterate that the wilderness survival skills that she brings to the challenge are that she's athletic and she has experience in the medical field. Victor is the other survivalist who has military experience as well as some experience being an outdoorsman. So based off the experience alone, I had a huge sense of doubt that these two would make it to the end of the challenge. Don't get me wrong, I know that they both had extensive work history with Naked and Afraid, and that they might know what to expect from the 21-day challenge from the perspective of a medical professional. However, their lack of hands-on experience with surviving the wilderness made me question how far they would actually get. Now the challenge takes place in Guyana, which is a country in South America for those that don't know. The survivalists are in the jungle during the start of the rainy season, so right off the bat, I knew that the pesky bugs and keeping the fire going would be the two primary issues facing these survivalists. And it was my hope that coming into the challenge, one of the survivalists would bring a mosquito net for their shelter, because in past seasons, mosquito nets tend to work. But for this challenge, neither of them did, which made me further doubt that they would finish the challenge. Now when Victor met Janice, I thought that they were actually very friendly towards one another, particularly Victor. Now from the episodes of Naked and Afraid that I've seen, it's usual custom for men who meet the female survivalists for the first time to shake hands and allow the woman to decide whether she's fine with hugging. But Victor said to hell with the unwritten rules and went straight for the hug, and it wasn't a church hug either. I initially sensed some slight discomfort in Janice during the scene, but her and Victor seemed to be getting along for the most part. Unfortunately, their lack of survival skills would test their will to finish the challenge. The first mistake that they made as a team was not building a shelter on the first night. As a result, the bugs made a buffet out of Janice's body, and the bugs continued to eat at Janice to the point where a medic had to come in and give Janice some medicine. Now Janice and Victor eventually find a suitable shelter. But the second mistake that they made was with Victor poking a very large beehive without trying to smoke out the bees first. Victor got attacked by some very angry bees, and he didn't get any honey out of the deal. So throughout the challenge, these two survivalists barely had anything to eat. And just when I believed that Janice or Victor were about to tap out, they miraculously make it to the end of the challenge. And to be honest, I have no idea how they made it to the end, but they finished nonetheless. And I must say that Victor was definitely MVP for the episode, because he did the bulk of the hunting and he got the fires going. Now if I had to rate this episode, I would give it a C+. And I rated this episode so low because of the editing. If any of you have ever seen the behind the scenes stories of Naked and Afraid, then you know that most of the show is not scripted. However, there are some parts that production intervenes on, particularly if it's to keep cast members safe or continuing the challenge. I strongly suspect that production may have intervened off camera for the challenge, and this was in order for Janice and Victor to make it to the end, and because of that, that's why the editing was so wonky. I might be wrong on this, but for me, the math just ain't mathing all the way. But outside of that, I did have a blast watching the chemistry that developed between Janice and Victor, and I hope that they do more challenges in the future. Well, this marks the end of the review. If you have any questions or comments related to the review or the episode, feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.